This is the same tree log that I used to cut out my workpieces from the last two previous video. Today too, I'm going to cut out a piece and make another item for our kitchen item video. I'm marking out a rough circle just about the size that I want for my workpiece, trying to avoid the cracks that you see here. It's almost reaching till the center of the material, but that's okay, just a little bit is fine. And the rest of the lines that I draw here is the waste that will be cut off. Well, I'm not gonna lie, cutting everything by hand is a lot of work. Somebody please donate me a bandsaw. So this is a rough cut, and I am not going to smoothen this out because everything is going to be removed later on. Now I'm marking out a spot right towards the center. It's not precise, but that's not a problem. I just need it fairly close. And I measure out 2.5 centimeters on my compass, draw a circle on the top of the workpiece, which will be the diameter of the final item. And as I shave off the waste materials from the item, I'm going to taper it down a little bit towards the end into a smaller diameter so that it takes the basic shape of a pestle. This is a local machete called a dowel. Before modern tools arrived, people used to make pestles entirely with just one tool, with just a machete from start to finish. But today we have block planes and spoke shaves and all different kinds of tools which we can use to make our work easier, faster, and simpler. In order to mark out the bottom of the pestle, I'm going to use this simple, very simple jig. This is nothing but your Sharpie marker pasted on a piece of plywood with the help of a tape. You place it on the table and you rotate your workpiece around it, and there you go. You have a perfect line. Now it's time to taper down towards the end of the handle for the pestle. I'm simply going to use the chisel and chop away until I'm satisfied with the diameter of the end taper. Now it's time for the spoke shave to come into action and round it off to a smooth handle. You can clearly see the lines left by the spoke shave, which will be smoothened out during sanding. And there are some holes bored by woodworms, which will be corrected during the finishing process. Here at the very end of the handle, I'm going to cut off notches on two sides and drill a hole right through for the purpose of hanging. The edges on the end look too sharp, so I'm going to chamfer it off a little bit and round it over. Now, before drilling the actual hole, I'm going to use a smaller drill bit to drill a pilot hole all through to the other side. and then only use the drill bit of the required size of the hole that you want. And also making sure you drill only halfway through with a bigger bit. And I'll tell you the reason why. As you can see here, the drill bit got tear out when it came through onto the other side. If you drill just like the same all throughout with a bigger bit, it's gonna cause a bigger tear out on the other side and it's gonna look ugly. So you drill halfway through, turn it over and continue drilling from the other side. That way you will have no tear outs on the other sides and the holes drilled will be clean. And the pilot hole was just to indicate where you start drilling from the other side. Not the cleanest hole, but the mouth of the hole can be smoothed out during the sanding process, so it's nothing to worry about. Now that the handle tip is over, it's time to work on the bottom of the pestle. Right now it's completely flat and dead square, but pestles do not have a flat bottom, so have to make it a little bit round over and curved. And I'll show you the example why. For example, this is a side view of your mortar. In general, the shape of the mortar is somehow like this, and the bottom is not completely flat. It's a little bit curved. If it was flat, it would look something like this, and this is not your usual mortar. If it was like this, the flat bottom of the pestle would be perfect. But this is not a mortar, so this is the curved bottom, which we are going to try and recreate on the pestle bottom, which is a little bit curved to compensate for the curved bottom of the mortar. Right now we have our pestle with a flat bottom like this. This is not the correct pestle. This is the correct one. This is the correct mortar. So that curvature is what I'm going to carve out on the bottom of this pestle. It might not be clearly visible to the eyes right now, but if you place a square and check it out, there it is. That's the curve. Now all the cutting, chopping and shaping is finished. It's time to sand it off to a smooth surface and apply as usual a coat of polyurethane for protection, and that's it. So here it is. This is how it turned out. That's how you make a wooden pestle. All the notches and holes have been corrected during the finish. Now it's ready to be used. Here's the bottom of the pestle and the top at the handle. And in case if you're wondering about the color here, no, I did not add any extra color, just a clear coat of polyurethane. The color and the grain is totally natural from the woods. It's a mixture of yellow and brown. You can see the brown colored grain running up from here all the way throughout and to the bottom. Three distinct brown colored grain lines, clearly visible and adding a design to the wood itself. And here on the other side as well, it starts running here and it goes up and it runs up towards the middle and goes in further. So that's the video about making a wooden pestle. Hope you liked it. Tune in next week for another kitchen item video. Like, share and subscribe. Take care.